Hello, everyone. I'm Chaotic Vito. Welcome in. This is Nameless Orange. Hey, guy, what's going on?
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, we're here. Two nerds chat. We're trying a new thing, a little fireside chat. How does the video look for everyone? It's a new look. Welcome in. Uh, so yeah, we've been playing online for a while together. Y'all know us. Y'all love us. But we're here in person. Why is that, Nameless Orange?
Well, we came down to hang out, and me and you went to GalaxyCon over the weekend.
Yeah, we did
Had
go to
some fun.
GalaxyCon. Uh,
One of us walked around, and one of us stood in line the whole time, but
Well, I did stand in line for quite some time. I think it was probably about an hour and a half for the first person. If y'all are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, Critical Role, big fans that we are. Travis Willingham was at GalaxyCon, and I stood in line to get his autograph for quite some time while Nameless Orange perused the booths. What
Yeah.
kind of booths did they have?
anything and everything. There was dice, Funko Pops, freaking people selling retro consoles. That was a bit of everything for everybody.
Nice, nice. Did you pick up anything fun?
I got a set of Pokemon dice.
Did you? Nice. What did they do? Little Pokemon dice? Were like Pikachu's in there, Squirtles, or
Well, it's got a little Pokeball in there. It
little
spins
Pokeball?
around.
Y'all, I'm a fan of inclusion dice. There's inclusion, and then there's the what are those ones called? I forget what they're called. They're like the free floating inclusions because the Pokeballs they move, right?
Yeah.
Or they stay in place when you move the dice. I guess that's a better way to put it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they'll like shift around on their own
Yeah.
when you move it right. I don't remember what they're called.
Do you remember what your first roll on the D20 was?
It wasn't great because I used them for that one shot I ran for you guys, and it was all like everybody was getting all the low rolls.
Get out of the way before you start using it as a player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got some drinks. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Some caramel Starbucks coffee with Snickers, whatever you call it, creamer in it.
That's super funny because I'm drinking the exact same thing. That's pretty much all we have in the house. We have one of those K-cup brew Keurig things. Not sponsored, by the way.
But we could be.
We could be Keurig if you're watching. If you like D&D and video games, then we're your Nameless Orange and Chaotic Vito. No, we have one of those things, and we have a few different types of K-cups, and the best one is it's not caramel macchiato, is it? Starbucks?
Yeah, I think so. It just says caramel on it.
Caramel
But it
something.
could be.
Yeah, but the Snickers creamer is absolutely delicious.
Freaking, I always have way too many K cups. The McDonald's, is it the blue? Because they have like an apple pie K cup, and then they have like a blueberry pie K cup, and the blueberry one is freaking amazing.
Is it like a blueberry muffin? Oh, it's the apple.
Oh yeah, it is the blueberry muffin.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's,
like that one. You don't even need creamer for that. That's just how good it tastes.
see, I'm not a huge fan of like the taste of coffee.
I'm not either.
I need some kind of other flavor in there to like overpower it. Because
But
I
this-
use like sugar and creamer, and they have to be like flavored. I don't drink black coffee. I can't.
This isn't. It don't taste like black coffee. It's just straight up like blueberry muffin flavor without like any creamer or anything in it.
There's no coffee in it at all whatsoever. You're just like, here, take our flavoring, heat it up, and drink it, and that's how we'll go. So this is so nice.
It is.
This is the first time we've been able to actually sit down. I know we've been playing games. Our last game that we played together technically was Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep.
That was not this past Sunday because you were
Thursday.
here. Last Thursday,
Yeah.
which is outside of our normal time frame because we normally play like every other Friday and Sunday, and then occasionally like when we can. but y'all were coming down, so we had to play a little early.
Yeah.
What was the last thing we did in Baldur's Gate 3?
What did we do? We finished up we had to go back to the Grim Forge.
Yep.
Well,
Mycanoid.
finish
Grim Forge. We took care of Nier, and we went back to the Mycanoid colony and got a little dance party.
Yeah, we did the tower,
the Arcane Tower.
The Arcane Tower.
I think we need to go back because there's something there that we could have gotten, but we didn't get from Bernard, the main big adamantine, the dude, the metal dude, the robot.
It wasn't that item he gave me.
Oh, he did give that to you. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. That was what item was that? That was,
I don't remember.
It was like
I think it was a ring.
It was a ring that goes well with your spark things, because that ring allows you to not get electrocuted when you're standing in water.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. So you use that with your other electric things that give you lightning charges, and then when you get your 5 lightning charges together, you explode in like electricity. So if like you're in water, it electrifies everything else. That's why like I have Karlek pick up all the flaming stuff and then water barrels in case we have to chuck water, and then you just go in there and you demolish everything in there.
I haven't used any of that equipment in a while.
No, it's a good build, but like it's very dependent on specific circumstances.
I've been having too much fun with like my advantage with short and long bows and my better lock picking gloves.
Yeah, those are really nice. I'm starting a bard playthrough, and like I'm trying to make him roguey-ish, because I kicked Asterion out of my group for a little while because I always have him, so I don't have anyone that can pick locks or be like super stealthy or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to incorporate that into my bard a little bit.
Which I think we have him back in our group.
I think we did pick up Asterion because we made him a monk, and then he can do some Fists of Fury.
Did we ever? I don't think we ever figured out what that switch at the top of the Arcane Tower did either.
I don't think we did. Well, I think we should probably go back there and check it out.
Yeah.
We're pretty much what?
I think we're done.
Almost to Act 2?
Yeah, I think we're done with everything now.
Yeah. We're just trying to tie up all the loose ends that we have. And there's not really that many loose ends left. I mean, the crash.
Oh yeah, that is still. I keep forgetting that's still Act 1.
Yeah.
Because it's not Act 2 until you enter the Shadow Cursed Lands.
Yep. Because you have to go by those. Yeah. Y'all will see. Y'all will see. It'll be fun.
That ring Bernard gave me was weird though. It's uncommon, but it's the coloring of its like whatever you want to call it. Its box is like the coloring of like the legendary gear.
Really?
Which is weird.
Either that's a glitch or it's like a story-driven item.
Because that's what the other story stuff looks like too. It's that same kind of color, but
yeah, it might be a story-driven thing because meeting Bernard, I don't know.
We could kill Bernard and get some XP.
It's technically not like just a loot found; it was loot given.
Yeah.
So that might be it. The same with the your not spell thief, but your it's not spell thief. It's your electrified bow.
Yeah, but that shows in its proper color.
Does it really?
Yeah. Because that is a rare bow and it shows in blue.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, if y'all have any thoughts on that, let us know. We'll try to figure it out together. But enough about us. What am I saying this is all about? Us talking. And I'm super excited to freaking get into some things. We're gonna be talking about some war stories as far as like streaming and like in-game like D&D, as well as like when we first started streaming and some issues we had and some problems, and then we'll jump into some weird opinions, nerd opinions, which are always super weird sometimes. but no apologies, and we'll just talk about it for a bit, and then we'll talk about we'll roll some dice. If you can see right here, we have a little dice tray with a dice, and we'll roll it, and we'll see what a prompt gives us, and we'll try to off the cuff improv something from that roll, which is gonna be a lot of fun.
It will be fun. You know what? They had a giant D20 there at that stand.
Did they?
Then it had a Pikachu inside of it. I should have bought that too.
You should have bought that. You should probably
I completely
go to the next one. GalaxyCon Raleigh. Next year, July 23rd through like the 26th. They've already pushed it, like literally this con ended on Sunday. And like Sunday night or Monday morning, they pushed out, hey, thanks for coming. Start getting your tickets ready for next year. So
we're going next year.
We'll go next year. Hopefully the same people will be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Laura Bailey was there too. And when I say like these guys are popular, they're like super popular. The line for Travis Willingham there was like a main line. It was literally snaking in a very orderly fashion to him, the main line. And it was completely sardined in. And like we were butt to nut sardined. And there was an overflow line that was also sardined in, and that was filled. Laura Bailey's line was filled, main line and overflow was filled as well. But I will say Travis got through his line in about half the time. I'll say half the time. Because I saw someone enter Laura's line as I entered Travis's line, and I was already done, and he wasn't even halfway through Laura's line. So I didn't really feel like waiting another like 4 hours plus to get Laura Bailey's autograph. I wanted to, but we wanted to walk around the con, and I didn't want to waste our one day being there.
She was taking her time to chat.
Yeah, which is super nice. I love it. I love it. Well, she looked friendly. Travis was super friendly. We talked a little bit. Super cool dude. He just cared about all the fans and everyone that he talked to. He made them feel like it wasn't just, all right, cool, signature, next. He took his time and he chatted and learned everybody's names and asked them about themselves and listened to all the, we love Critical Role because, or Roy Mustang is my favorite character because of this, or you changed my life because of this, all that stuff, right? So they just listen and with a smile on their face. So it was super nice. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I also met Peter Fasinelli. Yeah. I know I've told you about him and I've showed you him. There was a show back in the early aughts of the 2000s. It was called Fastlane, and it was on Fox, and it was during like the lineup of the dead shows that were all amazing. It was Firefly, Fastlane, and John Doe, which were one right after another. Firefly has Nathan Fillion in it, and Alan Tudyk, who's known for voice acting like Hey Hey and the king from King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph, and he has like a plethora of voice acting stuff, right? So he's pretty big in that. They're like space cowboys. It sounds weird, but it's stinking awesome. Go take a watch if you ever look into it. Firefly. Then Fastlane was about I think it was, I can't remember if it was LAPD or if it was like Miami PD or some police department.
There's a lot of shows like that now.
Yeah. Peter Fasinelli, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, and Bill Bellamy played as undercover cops in like think like 22 Jump Street. How they're like, they have their own section of like undercover. So they take things from the bad guys. Whatever their motto was, whatever we take, we keep, and whatever we keep, we use. So they'd get like all the super nice cars, super nice motorbikes, clothes, bunch of money, and they would use that to infiltrate like syndicates or like bad people's rings, you know, and take them down from the inside. And it was like the coolest freaking show ever. So Peter Fasinelli, I talked to him and I got his autograph and we chit-chatted about Fastlane. And he said that he loved being on that show and he misses it. He wishes that they would have given him at least another season. He was like, I don't want 4, I don't want 5, just give me like one more so we can enjoy it. him and Bill Bellamy riffed off each other and they had great chemistry. And he said that, you know how like in movies or shows or whatever, the director says, I want it this way, let's do it. So they do what they're told to do, right?
Yep.
And they do it, and the director says cut. And then, but he was like, the director said, all right, now we got our shot. Now y'all do what you want. We'll do a few more takes. It's all on you guys. And they would go back and forth and quip and improv and stuff. And a lot of that stuff made it into the show because they just had such good chemistry. And yeah, I could see it when he was talking about it, he was just smiling. He was like looking off into space, just like thinking about it. And that's awesome for to see someone like that have that kind of I don't know, the same kind of nostalgia as like I do thinking about the show.
Yeah.
Like looking back at it with him thinking that same way, it was awesome. It was awesome, man. And then the last show, John Doe. I know I got this. John Doe is Dominic Purcell. Dominic Purcell was Big Brother in Prison Break. If you've ever seen that.
You ever played the game?
Prison Break?
Yeah.
No. Is it from the show? Is it like the show's game?
It is.
Oh, that sounds mildly awful.
It's really bad. It's really bad, but like it's so bad you just want to laugh while you're playing it.
Oh man, I might have to take a look at it. I might have to look it up. Maybe it's on Steam. I'll see what the rating is.
I mean, it's probably like $1 on Steam if it is.
We'll have to play it. Oh my gosh. So, Dominic Purcell, do you recognize the name of the face?
Yeah.
Okay. He was also in a bunch of different things, but he was in Blade Trinity. He was like the bad vampire that they fought against. You know, the one with short-cut hair, buzzed hair, and he always had like an open shirt, like white shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's Dominic Purcell. He played a guy who lost his memory of himself, but like for whatever reason, he had knowledge of everything. He could walk up to a piano, not remembering having ever played it, and play like Beethoven or Mozart, or like he would play literally anything. He could jump into like a Ferrari and just, he's like, I don't know how to drive stick, and then like he'll just get it and just go, and like he sees everything. Like, so anyway, trying to find out who he was, he got in line with like I think it might have been Seattle, if I remember correctly, their police department. He was kind of like looking for information about himself, but he got roped into them, and then he started working with them. So he'd be like super, he'd see like that blood, and he'd like know things about different things, and like how the blood formed is because of this, and like that footprint, it only comes from this type of shoe that's made in this country, and they only made that shoe from this time to this time, so it will narrow it down. So he does that type of stuff for the police department while he's trying to figure out who he is and getting sucked into like the mystery of him, because it turns into a huge bigger thing than him. And it's really good. It is a wonderful show. So I say those shows for a reason. One, because Fastlane, because we were just talking about it, and two, the heyday, I think, of Fox programming. Those shows only lasted for one season. Only one season, and they got cut. And they were all so stinking good.
Yeah, that's what happens to a lot of shows.
But that's an opinion. And that was meant for a later segment. I can talk about that all day.
So it's always nice meeting like, you know, celebrities or bands or whatnot, and they're just super chill.
Yeah. What have you met anyone?
I've met a few bands. Years ago, I just found the flyer for it. It's in my Halo Reach strategy guide still, and I think it was from like 2010.
Yeah.
At the Pajama Factory in Williamsport.
Okay. Does that even exist anymore?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, that's where White Knight's at.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That big room next to White Knight where they were all playing. I think they were doing like a Pokemon tournament there the day we were there. Yeah, they used to do concerts in there.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I went there the one day with my buddy, and we saw was it August Burns Red, Set Your Goals, Texas in July, and My Heart to Fear. And I got to meet all those guys after the
Yeah,
show, and
that's
they were
really
all
cool.
super awesome.
I don't recognize any of those bands. Or what kind of genre are they?
They're all, with the exception of like Set Your Goals, they're a little more heavier.
Really?
Yeah, Set Your Goals is more like pop punk.
Okay.
Yeah, but the rest are like heavier bands.
Okay. Was there a mosh pit?
Yeah.
There was. Was there, what is it called? The Wall of Death? Was there one of those?
No,
Do you
not
remember that?
Not in there.
I saw a video recently about the Wall of Death. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't remember what concert it was, but it was like a small concert, and the band was playing, and they were doing some heavy stuff, and people lined up for the wall on either side. But it was like the caption was like, when normal band goers join in on the wall and they don't know what's coming. So there was like regular, obviously everyone's regular people, right? But there were non-metalheads in line on it, and you can see the metalheads like gearing up, jumping, and getting ready and stuff. And the other guys were just kind of like, yeah, yeah. And then they all started running, and you see guys go, and they start running too, and they don't realize that everyone's just going to come together. It's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
I've seen videos of crazy ones at these like arenas where there's just basically like almost 100,000 people packed in there, and like it's just the entire thing is just split, and it's insane to see it all come together.
Oh my gosh, that stuff can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Mosh pits? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Everybody, like the people at metal shows are normally like the nicest people ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they, I mean, they're just regular fucking people who love the music. And like, I would assume, I've never been in a mosh pit, but I would assume everyone who has been understands the possible danger of it. So everyone's kind of like thinking of safety, but still having fun. You know what I mean? Not just being all nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be nuts, but you can do it safely. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're all looking out for each other.
Yeah, yeah. All metalheads stick together.
I remember the last, well, I guess Warped Tour's back and touring now again. I wanted
I saw that.
the last year they did it before they stopped it.
Yeah.
I went to Warped Tour, and I got to meet the guys from 4 Year Strong and Ice Nine Kills and Simple Plan.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I know Simple Plan. I don't know what any other ones. I'm terrible with a lot of different genres, to be fair. I kind of stick roughly around like my normal stuff. But the last concert that we went to together was, headliner was Disturbed.
Yep.
And then Breaking Benjamin.
Saint Sonia.
Saint Sonia and Alter Bridge.
Yep.
And that was pretty good.
It was good.
It was really good. The only one that was let down was Breaking Benjamin's live performance.
Yeah.
Because their audio and their voice it wasn't like, I don't know how to explain it. Like their instrument music, their like actual like adjusting the knob type stuff was pretty loud, but their vocals were like under where it should have been.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just wasn't where I thought it would be. I think you told me this beforehand. They're not great in concert, but I still enjoyed them.
But it seems like they've been getting better over the years.
Yeah, they're getting better. Because the wife and I went and saw Breaking Ben right before we had the baby.
Yeah.
Yep. And they were better. They were better because that was, oh my gosh, I can't remember who was there because it started to rain. Breaking Ben was there. Daughtry was there. There was the headliner. I can't remember the name of the headliner because we left because it was pouring.
I forget because I saw who was touring with them, and I can't remember who it was.
But speaking of Daughtry, when I was in the desert years ago, they had the USO bring it's Armed Forces Entertainment now. It's basically the military partnering with bands and stuff like that and bringing them overseas to go see
Oh
the troops,
yeah.
right? Um, and Daughtry came, and I got to do security for Daughtry.
Oh nice.
Short dude, neat dude. Little full of himself, but obviously he's a fucking star.
I've heard that.
But he was pretty neat. It was nice to just see someone or like talk to someone that's a pretty big deal. I got to do security for Saving Abel back years ago. I got to be on the bus with them as they flew in, and then we took them to where they were staying, and from where they were staying to the show.
I forgot about. I used to listen to them all the time. I forgot about them. Like
Yeah,
completely.
they had Addicted was their big hit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was nice. And then a few years after that, I got to chit chat with Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh, okay.
He came and he did a show, and that was hilarious. That was when Daughtry was there, because Daughtry was there. We got to talk to him, and then Gabriel Iglesias, we got to chit chat with him. He was a really, really down to earth dude. He was always like, his stage presence is his exact life, like off stage presence. He's just funny and cracking jokes, but like super genuine. Awesome dude. But yeah, those are some pretty wild people. But to top it off, I think Travis Willingham was probably my favorite, to be honest, because he was really cool about it. Yeah,
I want to go see some more concerts.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad I missed out on Disturbed this year because it was their 25th.
Yeah, I know. I want to try to see My Chemical Romance while they're.
Are they on Warped Tour?
No, I don't think they are. I think they're doing their own thing.
Really?
I want to see them before they disappear
Break up?
again. Yeah. I'm still waiting for that new album to come out.
How long are you waiting for that?
It's been a while. They released a single a while ago,
Really?
but I haven't heard anything else since then.
I listened to them. So I went through a phase where I listened to that genre of music in like 2006, 2007. And it was like, oh my gosh, I can't remember half the bands that I listened to. Who sang, oh my gosh, it's gonna kill me. Who sang Hail Delilah?
I don't know.
No.
I
Anyway, it was kind of like an emo-ish phase that I was in. It wasn't like screamo, but it was like cut my heart into pieces. But that's a completely different genre, that song, right?
Old Papa
But like,
Roach.
yeah, but like it was like my heart's hurting. Let me cry this out. You know what I mean? That type of emo that I listened to, and that was a fun time for me. That was like I listened to that, and at the same time I listened to like when Lil Wayne was popular. Like it's still popular, but like it was the Carter. Might have been the Carter 2 when that came out. I think that I was listening to it. But yeah, they were wildly different genres. But I listened to them the same way. I don't know. College was a crazy, crazy time. But speaking of crazy times, hey, let's jump into our next segment. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So we got some streaming war stories. So when did you first start streaming?
Ooh, I believe it's been 2 years now.
Yeah. Time flies, huh?
Yeah, I started in I believe it was the end of June 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like the end of June, right at the beginning of July.
Yeah.
So I think I just hit 2 years.
You just hit 2 years.
Like around the beginning of the month, I believe.
Did you do a birthday stream for it? Not a birthday stream, but like a anniversary stream. That usually pops up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I didn't get a pop-up this time around.
Yeah.
I did last year though. I did do a 1-year anniversary stream the first time though.
Yeah.
That was I believe that was the Deadly Premonition stream. which I still have to finish that game. Well, finish it again because that game's really good.
Next time you're on your next anniversary, you'll do it.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up here. I can't even see our chat for this. This one.
It's my YouTube, like when I started YouTube and when I actually just started streaming on just Twitch is like almost a month apart.
Really? Yeah. I started on this platform. I started on Twitch. When the hell did I start that? I think 2021, is when I actually started. I did it for a handful of months. And then I stopped doing it because life started happening, and then we moved. No, I took a break, and then I moved, and then that's when I picked it back up. So when I picked it back up, so I started in like 2021, and then I streamed for a while, and then in 2023, I think. See, I got here in 23, almost 24. So yeah, so the end of 2022 into 23 is when I started picking it back up, and that's when I was there away for that year. Yeah. And that was like straight streaming almost every day, like all week, just streaming stuff. And I've kind of been going at it ever since. I mean, I've been taking a lot of breaks recently because we had a baby.
Yeah.
So that kind of takes priority a bit. The schedule doesn't help too much either, but just like,
yeah, it never does.
It's not that I don't want to stream because I really want to stream. It's just sometimes it's hard when you have other commitments or like, I'm exhausted a lot.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted a lot.
I get that too. Because I'll sit down, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stream. And then I'm like, what do I want to stream? I'm like, it's starting to feel like work, and I'm kind of tired. I don't feel like thinking about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So maybe tomorrow.
That's why I kind of shifted. Like, I like sitting down, I like talking, but sometimes I'm a little talked out. So that's why I kind of shifted more. If you look at some more of my more recent content, it's a lot of no commentary games where I just sit and I record and I play, and then just same thing, just edit and upload.
Yeah.
And that I find that's obviously it's a lot easier than sitting in front of the camera and talking. It helps you decompress a little better when you're just zoned out, and that feels nice sometimes.
Yeah, I don't if I'm just recording games, I don't even turn the camera on.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, just to make this a little more relaxing, I'm just gonna freaking sit here in my underwear and record a video.
So what was your first stream? Do you remember?
Ooh, the very first game I did, and which I never finished, was Atomic Hearts.
I've never heard of that game.
Yeah, I was doing that alongside Yoshi's Island. And yeah, I never finished Atomic Hearts. I don't even know how far through I got, but I got stuck at this part, and like because of the save, I didn't have enough. It was probably like just me not being skilled enough, but I didn't have the ammo or the health to deal with this part I was stuck at.
Yeah.
So I just never went back to it.
I remember when you first started streaming that you were streaming, were they emulators? Or were they, I'm trying to remember, like emulators of Game Boy games? You were doing that for a bit?
Oh, that was the Switch.
It was Switch? Okay.
Yeah.
Going through some nostalgia games, doing that.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, Atomic Hearts was after. No, I started, the first game I streamed was Dark Souls 2.
Okay.
And then Atomic Hearts came a little later.
Okay. Did you finish Dark Souls 2?
I did.
Okay.
I didn't do the DLCs. I was planning on doing like starting that back up on the second anniversary of the channel,
Yeah,
but I never got around to it. So it's still just sitting there.
it happens. It
Uh,
happens.
but and like I went back and looked at those videos. I'm like, man, this looks rough.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy just to look back. I think I actually removed a couple of my very first videos. At the time, my name was different. I was called Vito. Oh my gosh, Vito Vapes 07 was what I was
I
called.
do remember that one.
Yeah. So my first stream that I ever did was a Dungeons and Dragons stream, if you can believe it. Which I still do a lot of. I went through and I started creating a one shot. So I had a side by side of like my notepad on the computer and like a fantasy generator, or it wasn't even D&D Beyond. It was I think it was Kassoon. And I had it side by side and I was like, okay, so what's this one shot gonna be? And I was like, all right, so it's gonna be a village. What's wrong with the village? And then like I would prompt and I'd be like, I look in and look at everything that came. I'm like, you know what? I like this. I think I can't remember what it was about, to be honest. But I would start building out the campaign. So I built the town, who was in the town, how big the town was, what the issue was, what would be like a reward, and the different locations that you would go to. There was like 2 or 3 different locations that you would go to for this one shot. It was like to a town, to like a oh my gosh, to like town, to like the town hall, to like an outlying location, and then near the outlying location, like on the way to the outlying location. So there would be, the town was act 1, and then act 2 was on the way to that location, and then act 3 final was that final location, which I believe at the time was like a cave or something like that. And then I'd pull up one of the map making softwares, and I sit there and I drew everything out on stream, and I was doing it. So I did a few sessions of that. That was a lot of fun. Trying to get that. I didn't get a whole lot of input because I was hoping to use like audience input, but it was my first stream and I didn't know the ways of, nobody watches you for a little while. So I was kind of like on my own. So I was doing that, and then I think at the same time I was streaming reading between D&D horror stories and creepypastas.
Yeah, I do remember seeing one of your really old videos from forever.
Yeah, creepypastas. Literally, I would pull up Reddit and I'd find a cool story, and I would literally just sit there and I would have the cam on and I would just read it and give my 2 cents on what was happening. That was a lot of fun. But now I just play video games. I kind of miss doing like horror stories and like creepypastas and stuff like that. I miss reading those.
Did you used to do painting too?
I did. I used to paint a lot on stream. I haven't in quite some time because I don't really have. I mean, I have the area-ish, but like all my stuff is put away.
Yeah.
So I'd have to dig through boxes and boxes to find all my paints and everything else. I want to try it this year. One of my goals for the last half of 2025, hopefully in 2026, is to start doing some painting streams again, because that was a lot of fun. Because that was basically this. Well, just me painting and bullshitting.
Yeah.
And talking. That's all it was.
God, I remember. I made a clip from my Dark Souls 2 stream from years ago. It was me. I actually got invaded by someone during the stream, and I made a clip of it. And it sat for almost 2 years, and I finally uploaded it. And it looks bad because I had to kind of blow it up a bit to make it actually fit what YouTube wants their shorts to look like.
Yeah.
Somebody commented, he's like, "Why does this look like it was recorded on a potato?"
Because it was.
Yeah, and I was kind of like looking, because I used to record on this
Yeah.
with everything hooked up to it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it was pretty much on a potato.
Yep. Yep. I mean, because no one ever unless you like go full in and you have a bunch of money. No one starts out with like 4K cameras
Yeah.
and like Rode mics and nothing like super computers. No one starts out like that unless you already have a bunch of money. Because I didn't even start streaming until I didn't even build the computer that I started streaming on. It was an HP with it was a pre-built. It was just like a stock like HP something or other, and it had a built-in graphics card. And I tried it on that, and I remember trying to stream. What did I try to stream? I tried to stream Minecraft, but that was super laggy, and it wouldn't work. And then I tried to stream The Wolf Among Us through like the weird way the Xbox used to do it. It was like you could capture Xbox through like a side app or something. I can't remember. It was like Xbox Capture or something. It wasn't. It wasn't good.
That.
It was not good, and that was not super laggy, but it was laggy enough not to be super enjoyable to watch. But The Wolf Among Us was a lot of fun. I know on my anniversary, I did a giveaway stream. My first anniversary, I think I did a giveaway stream, giveaway a hat, and
oh yeah, I got a sticker out of that.
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
it's right here.
Chaotic Veto sticker. I love it. Yeah, so that was fun. We did a lot of that was like D&D talking, painting, trying to play a couple like random games.
Yeah,
And like talking, and that was a lot of fun. But it was hard to set up a stream like that because there was a handful of things I wanted to do, but like everything had to be pre-set up, and that was still. I mean, even after a year and taking a break, it's still hard to like set up your stream and make everything fit right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you've had some issues. I've had some issues. What's the worst like streaming issue that you've had? That you were like expletives just flowing out of your mouth because of it?
Well, it actually has a lot to do with this freaking laptop here, since I used to have everything going off of this, and since it couldn't handle what I needed to do, the mic or the video would randomly cut out. I've had streams where there was like no audio for the entire stream.
Yeah.
Because it just like it was showing the mic working, but it wasn't actually working.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about like we're such small creators that we don't have like the mods. You know what I mean? To sit there and tell us what's going on. Hey, Jamie Honeycutt. Hello from NC. How's it going, my guy? Appreciate you stopping in. We're just talking about some weird streaming failures. Especially like on a laptop. Like, if you get it to work well, it works well. But when it doesn't, it doesn't.
No, I would be able to record on this because I would use if I didn't have my camera set up to it, it'd be just enough. It wasn't running it too hard. I could still record videos.
Yeah. There's a game, Crimson Snow.
Yeah.
That
which I still can't play.
Yeah. It's all good. Well, yeah. If you've ever heard of Crimson Snow, that was gifted to you, right?
Yeah.
And you tried to play it, and the person who gifted it to you was like, they were super excited to see him play, and it wouldn't run, or was it like laggy?
It was lagging really bad.
It was lagging
well,
really
even
bad.
on like my other my PC, it still won't work right either.
Yeah,
which I don't get.
That's weird. Maybe we can try to, I don't know, maybe screw around with some settings, drop the FPS, or I don't know. Have you looked at like a benchmark for the game?
No,
like what's recommended to play it?
I went into the in-game settings though, and like I lowered the FPS and stuff. Like even lowered it all the way down as far as it would go, and it was still like bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But my PC, my little mini PC can play Borderlands 2, but it can't play something so much less taxing.
Yeah, that's so weird because the graphics are definitely not as great.
No, they're not at all.
It's a scary game. Jamie, you were born in 1980. I was born about 8 years after you, and I'm kind of getting into the old fart territory. But we're trying to. I don't know if you'd call us starting a midlife crisis to like buying these games and computers and start streaming, and I feel like it's a midlife crisis.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
The Oregon Trail, come on. Come on.
We were playing that in elementary school.
Yeah, I played that too. I always died of dysentery. That's a throwback game, my guy. Man, thank you for bringing that up. That's just so jumping gears. So do you remember your first like game that you played when you were a kid? Like a system game?
Yep, I got a Super Nintendo for Christmas, and it came with a copy of Yoshi's Island.
So I've never played Yoshi's Island.
No?
No.
It's a really good game.
I played Super Nintendo was one of my first ones. I cannot remember for the life of me if I got a Super Nintendo first or the Game Boy, the brick, the gray Game Boy.
Yeah. I never had one of them. I went right to the Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. So for the brick, it was I think I got an edition. It came with like a side satchel carrying case.
They had a lot of stuff for them.
Mm-hmm. Like it had a spot specifically for the Game Boy and for all the slots for the games, and one of those what are they called? The magnifier attachments. Let me go pause. We have a baby in the house. Yeah, so the first system that I had was that Game Boy or the Super Nintendo. I really don't remember which, but I remember Fishing, Plat, and BM. BM Drive. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if that's a typo, or can you expand upon that, Jamie? I'd love to hear about it.
I'm not sure what that is either.
Yeah, but while you're explaining that out, Super Nintendo, I played on a black and white TV, a small little TV, me and my brother. And I think we got 2 games. One was Killer Instinct, and and the other one was Top Gear, which was an old racing game.
Yeah.
So Top Gear and Killer Instinct. And then we expanded and we bought more like Scooby-Doo and like Aladdin and like old like football games that we played with. But yeah, I remember many a road trip with that Game Boy trying to catch the light of, I didn't have the light attachment. Oh, it was a racing game. Oh, you got a new Nintendo for Christmas? Yeah, it's always nice, like, nowadays, you talk to kids, we're like, what was your first console? Like, what was your first? Oh yeah, I got a PS4 when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And my heart just drops. And that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, racing games on like old consoles just hit different. You know what I mean? Like it's always like it's that first person view of the car just shifting left to right, or like turning sideways and still going forward, and then like going around curves. So it's that like scroller, the down scroll movement of the games.
I never got into like the real early racing games. I always liked the Need for Speed games.
Oh, BMX bike, like dirt bikes. Okay. Yeah, I never got huge in race. Okay, kind of a little bit. So Top Gear, and then later, um, um, like Driver.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But speaking of dirt bikes, Dave Mirra BMX, that was for the PS1. I think we were just talking about that earlier, weren't we?
Yep.
Where unlock a skin and you get to be like a Slim Jim guy, literally the Slim Jim guy with the big, Slim Jim on the top of the head. Oh, your game's on PC. Oh man, did you have a PC when you were younger, like an old Windows 98 or anything like that?
We did.
Family computer.
We did have a super old PC.
Yeah.
We got it. This school was updating their PCs, and we got it for like super cheap.
Yeah.
But we didn't have like it was just insert floppy disk and play game on it.
Yeah, that's how Oregon Trail was. You insert the floppy disk. That and Math Blasters.
There was like I don't remember much about the piece. I remember there was like this math robot game that I used to play the shit out of.
That might have been Math Blasters. Was it like were you like a space robot? Do you remember?
Like I remember you had to like move the robot like along this like path, almost like a board game, and you had to do like math problems.
Oh, really? Trying to disguise learning with games. That's how schools do it. Do they still do that? I think they do. Honestly, I think my daughter, like, they have like a system, a website or something they go into, and they play some games, but it's also like towards like reading and like math and stuff like that. But nothing will ever beat like that old like. I don't remember what Oregon Trail was supposed to teach us. I don't think it was supposed to teach us anything. I think it was just time for the teachers to go sit and relax while we play a random game.
Yeah.
I feel like that was it.
'Cause we had this old, it was a game to teach us about words and stuff, and it was like this ghost explaining it to us.
Really? Oh, geez. Yeah, I wonder what that was called. I'll have to look it up. We'll throw it on the upload.
It's like I don't remember what it was. Like the sound of his voice is still burned into my mind, saying about like which keys are the home keys and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. So I think one of my first computer games that I got for myself, it might have I think it was like when CD-ROMs were like sent in the mail or something to try out things.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. One of them was Wishbone. If you remember, do you remember Wishbone?
The dog.
The dog
Yeah.
who would dive into books and read books of old stories. It was like a Wishbone, and it was like the Odyssey. So it was like Homer and the Odyssey. So you would go around the map, and you would be thrown into different portions of the game, and that was a lot of fun. I remember doing that. That and like it was like backyard baseball or something like that. It was you were like a little kid, and they all had like big heads.
Yeah.
And you would play baseball.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember playing that.
Yeah.
Oh, you have some on your YouTube? Yeah, we'll have to check it out, Jamie. I appreciate it. We'll take a look.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see, I started with Super Nintendo, then I got the Pikachu Pichu edition Game Boy Color for my birthday with Pokemon Crystal. One of our old babysitters had an original NES with a bunch of games.
Yeah.
That she ended up giving to me. So I had that too, and then we got an old Atari 5200 and a bunch of games from like a garage sale for really cheap.
Yeah. See, I never played the Atari. I think I might have played it once or twice, but I never had it. But our neighbor had like the original. I never had a Nintendo, but I had Super Nintendo. But our neighbor had the actual Nintendo, and he had like he had a bunch of games. But I remember going over there, and like they were like babysitting us when we were little, and I would play Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
And I think it was called Paperboy or something like that, right? When you were the Paperboy and you toss papers, you do a news route, like a paper route.
You ever seen the end of that game?
Nope. Never seen it. Did you get hit by a truck?
No, eventually like you have to go you finish your route and you start driving through this like I don't even know. I almost want to call it like a BMX course
Oh,
at the
really?
end where you're like jumping over ramps and stuff. It's
I wonder. I'm sure they have. Actually, I do a website for like emulators and stuff where you download. That's where I was doing my Harry Potter games from.
oh yeah.
So I might have to go look that up and see if I can do a playthrough of Paperboy.
Man, I wish I could play. Yeah, I have a hard time playing emulators.
Yeah, just getting into it or computer wise.
Yeah, computer wise.
Yeah. Well, the site that I have, I don't know if I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. They're not emulators. They're not emulators because they're all downloadable to your PC and you play them as PC, but you can play them as a different console. But there's no like emulator that you have to download first to play them.
Yeah.
You just download the game. So they're mostly like PC games, but they do have sections for other consoles, and you can download like the Windows version of it. So that's how I played the Harry Potter games up until Goblet of Fire, which is absolute trash.
Yep.
I can't get past where I'm currently at with that. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's a couple one of my subscribers helped me get one of those and get it set up, but I don't know what it is like with my PC, but it seems like it doesn't run it how it should. Like the audio sounds kind of weird in it. And I don't want to have just like a game with no sound because like, part of like playing the old games is like the nostalgia of it.
The sounds, the super iconic sounds. That dog, what from Paperboy? Was it called Paperboy? Was that what it was called?
Yeah,
Paperboy, something like that. Yeah, the dog that would jump out at you.
Yep. Yeah, I try to play some
older games.
Yeah, except for Nintendo games. They're all completely legit.
They're fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
completely legit.
They're good.
Don't sue Nintendo.
No, I've had don't sue Nintendo. No, I've had my fair share of like failures and why did I do that or when I'm streaming, right? Because I'll forget to put the audio on.
Yep.
Or like I'll have the audio linked to like display capture, and I'm playing a game, so it's not picking up the proper capture location. So I'll either have like my audio is fine, and the game is not there, or like the game audio is fine, but my voice you can't hear me at all. So those are like the main problems that I used to have. The ones that I've had that really irritate me are like when for whatever reason OBS quits, or like the internet, I guess it's really not a me thing if the internet goes down a little bit and like the stream stops.
Oh yeah.
Right, and then everything gets cut out. That sucks.
Yeah, because even with like OBS now, like for whatever reason, like you'll just go start up a stream and find out that the mic's just randomly not connected to OBS anymore.
Yeah, I had to do that tonight. I had to go in there in the settings and reconnect the mic to the actual to the system, which I don't know why it is. I do have some extra plugins on OBS that might be an issue. But I would love to just like hard reset everything, keep the profiles from OBS, and then re-upload them so they'll bring in all this stuff. Because this, whatever your profile is on OBS, you can save it as like I forget what the ending is, but it's an OBS profile download, and basically you can import it, and it'll just bring up like everything to it. So if you uninstall OBS and re-download it and reinstall, then you can add in exactly what you want back into it. I've been thinking about doing that, but I'm scared. That's why I haven't upgraded to the newest OBS, because I've had issues in the past where plugins and whatnot stopped working because of updates. And I don't want to try to figure that out or try to re-download new plugins or try to find updated plugins that haven't been updated yet with the new upgrades.
I've So anymore, I always double check to make sure my mic is working before I start. But sometimes I slip up but normally, like one of my subscribers, like, hey, where's the audio at? You're not saying anything. I'm
That's
like,
good though,
oh.
right? As long as someone comes in and is like, "Hey, I can't hear your voice," because that's why, like, when I love people being in a stream, because it's so hard when you're not streaming to anyone. It's fine. I don't care about streaming to people, but like when you're by yourself and you're doing this and you can't tell until the VOD that your audio wasn't working, and it's just like, man, I wish I had like one person in chat just to be like, "Hey, I really can't hear you," or "You're lagging," or "You're super loud," or something like that.
Yeah, because it becomes it comes this whole process, because then you're like, oh, okay, did that fix it? Can you hear me now? And then you're like, well, wait, how long has it been? Like, how long has it been since anybody could hear me? It's like,
It was working, I swear.
like with the quarry, I had that issue with the mic, and freaking Potato was like, hey, we can't hear you, and then realized there was like an hour and a half where my mic was just out for no reason.
Yeah, that happens. I wonder, you say you have Jamie, you have some videos up yourself. I wonder, do you have those kind of issues, like your audio cuts out, or your game audio doesn't go, or your microphone isn't doing? If you do that at all, let me know, because we're not the only ones, and I know it. But in the VOD, we'll take a look at your stuff and try to get that in there. I appreciate you letting us know. It's good talking about this old, like, nostalgia. So my favorite feeling is the feeling of nostalgia.
Yeah.
I don't like now.
Yeah.
I like back then. Now there's responsibilities, and man, I love my kids. I love my wife, and they're like my world. But sometimes it's nice just to remember when you didn't have any responsibilities back then, and you could just like reminisce about old games and stuff. And that's why we do this, I think.
Yeah, it's been, or just not having to work or anything, because I know like the past couple weeks leading up to this vacation, I was I almost just want to like quit and not care. Like I don't want to be at work anymore.
I know. Work can be rough. I can't quit. I will go to jail if I quit. Unfortunately, I have a few more years to go. Yeah, even Jamie says that Jamie has some issues occasionally with like streaming it. So it's all around. It's so hard just to like, we all want it to be perfect, and no one's ever going to be perfect in what we do. It's never perfect. Like, so, okay. So what is one item, like streaming equipment or software or something, that you could not like live without? What has made your life so much better in the world of streaming that you're like, man, if I lost this, I would not be able to stream? Obviously a computer is kind of like the main one, but like besides like your PC.
So that's a good question. Probably, I don't know, probably like OBS, because I'm like, I don't know what else I would use besides OBS.
Yeah, OBS has been super helpful. I think I've always, no, I don't think I always did. I don't think I.
What was it, like Stream Elements, I think, has something, but I never liked using that. I tried for a little bit at the beginning, but I wasn't a fan of it.
I think it was Stream Elements as well that I tried, because it had like a layout that you could put on, and it was like a grid for like overlays and stuff that you would have to put in different places. So I tried that out too. Speaking of driving games back in the day, Jamie said he was driving the General Lee. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. I would, if I had the option to drive a car, it'd be the DeLorean. Yes. Hands down, the DeLorean is what I'd have.
No, I forget, like, I love Back to the Future.
Back to the Future has the Telltale game.
Yep.
I was just looking at it the other day, actually.
I played it before, and I was gonna replay it for a stream until my Xbox died. And since I owned it on Xbox, that's kind of out the window.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That is a great game. Do they have it? I don't think they have that on Steam, do they?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
It was a really good game though.
I remember playing it. I was like, man, the graphics aren't great. Obviously,
It had a good story though.
it had a great story. There was some glitchy parts in it where it wasn't that smooth, but it was like one of their earlier games
Yeah.
that they pushed out. But it was super fun. What I can remember of it.
I know one day when I have the freaking money, I'm gonna get a tattoo on my knuckles, and I'm gonna get the DeLorean's license plate out of time.
Oh, really?
on 'em.
Nice.
That's like the one I've been wanting for years.
Yeah. That'd be super cool. I wish I could get. I mean, I have one tattoo on my finger, but I wish I could get more. Like, I want my hand to be, like a big black hole or like a planet, because I want to have like a DNA helix going down to a black hole, and then I'd love to have like a supernova or like an exploding planet like on my hand.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that, but I can't have hand tattoos like that. I can actually have a tattoo behind my ear, like a small, nothing bigger than a quarter. I can have it like on my neck.
You're like
That's authorized.
D12 or something.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. I already have a D20. Put a D20 with a number with a 1 up there. So OBS is like your number one. Like, if this stopped existing, it would ruin your streaming. Would you try to stream with something else? Just to keep streaming? Yeah.
But I don't think there's any other options as good as OBS.
Yeah, I haven't really tried since I went to OBS. I haven't really tried anything else, honestly, because OBS is super helpful. I mean, it's not even like it's good. It's good because I know Atom has they have the vertical plugin too that you can download.
Oh,
it's a plugin for OBS, and it allows you to do vertical format as well, and you can record and you can stream and you can backtrack on there as well. So that's what I do for like our Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. I record it through OBS regular landscape, and then I have off to the side the vertical, so I can. I was planning on streaming it to TikTok, but now I'm just gonna compile it and then stream the recorded portion to TikTok, so it doesn't overload my computer with streaming to like a bunch of different platforms at the same time.
Yeah, I do like being able to multi-stream too. That's really nice.
Yeah, the stream is nice. Now that OBS put it well, Stream Elements has the attachment. I think OBS actually, the new update, they let you like multi-stream now.
I don't know if they have it through OBS
Yeah.
or not, because I know mine's like a third-party extension that uses OBS.
Well, I have the Stream Elements multi-streaming, and that's super easy. Like, you can see just off to the right, it has a little toggle buttons at the bottom right there.
Oh yeah,
and that literally just goes straight to whatever streaming platform that I want to put it to. That's what I'm doing right now. But I think, oh, man, that's a tough one. I've gotten so used to. Hey, Jamie, thank you so much for the subscription, bud. I appreciate you. We'll take a look. I'm curious to see what games you play. And I want to see that generally, to be honest. But if OBS quit on me, it's gotten so easy because we've been using OBS for so long to orient, and like, you know what? I'd like to say I know OBS fairly well.
Well enough anyway.
Well enough, yeah. Well enough. But I think like if I have my monitors, I'm fine with my monitors. If I drop down to 2, I'd be fine. But if I drop to 1, I think I'd still be fine. But like,
yeah, I couldn't go back to 1.
1 would be rough. That would be rough, because then.
Well, I guess technically I do just have 1. Well, mine's weird because I'm either using my TV as a second monitor, or using it as the thing I'm playing games on. So
yeah.
I guess I technically only have 1 monitor.
It's true.
I would like another one though.
Yeah, another one. I'm getting another one, but I have nowhere to put it, to be honest. But I think if I lost my Stream Deck, I put so much work into that, crafting like shortcuts to absolutely everything. Like literally just changing my scene has become so easy without having to click around or like muting big portions, like muting mics or muting Discord audio or adjusting sound volume for individual people, like in a D&D games. And like just like everything, like all my chat commands are in my stream deck, so I can just press a button instead of having to get to my keyboard and type out like follow and it'll pop up the follow or welcome or something like that. And like the automated things that it has, it's so helpful. Stream Deck is so stinking helpful. I don't know what I would do without it, to be honest. I would go back to I remember the pre-Stream Deck time that I was always just clicking buttons and stuff, which was fine, but
yeah,
then
that's what I'm doing.
I'd find myself like playing the game, but I'm still on my just chatting screen, and I've forgotten to like go up and like,
I've done
what
that.
I mean?
Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah, so that happens. But yeah, the Stream Deck would probably be my need. I know it's definitely not a need, but now that I have it, I can't imagine streaming without it.
Although I don't know if it's a me problem, but I noticed a new issue with OBS to where like just the scene where it's only my webcam, it doesn't always turn back on.
Oh, your webcam itself?
Yeah, because I'll go, like, when I'm ending the stream, I'll, like, open just the webcam back up.
Yep.
And it's just a black screen, and, like, my webcam has a blue light on it when it's actually...
On?
Yeah.
Like, connected?
And it's not on.
It might be, like, a restart. You have to, like, click the button to, like, restart on scene, like when it goes to scene, you know, when you have like a video or intro or something like that, or you can click like restart upon scene selection or something like that, right? It might be that issue, but I have the same issue when I start OBS most of the time, because I'll start OBS and I'll do my checks. My first check will be go to my just chatting screen to make sure my camera's working, and it won't be. So then I have to go into the settings and deactivate the camera and reactivate the camera. Yeah. Don't know why it does it, but like it's religiously happens almost every single. I do it tonight.
See, mine works right away every time. It's just like every time after that.
Yeah.
But if I switch back and forth between like the webcam and a different scene, it will start working again, and then it will never have that issue for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Must be OBS bugs. OBS bugs.
They do like their bugs.
Speaking of bugs, hey, let's jump into our next segment here. Let's shift gears to some D&D chat. D&D is Dungeons and Dragons, if anyone is unfamiliar. We have, let me pull it up here. So I had this idea where, let me pull it up, where we would have a d20 that we have a rolly. We would roll it, and whatever the dice lands on, there's a prompt, and we'll just try to improv it and try to see what's going on, right? Try to figure something out with it and do whatever it tells us to do. Let me pull it up here. Oh, it's somewhere. There it is. Yeah. It's like a okay. So we're gonna roll some dice and we're gonna try to improv a little bit. It's gonna be terrible. All right. So you were the guest here, NamelessOrange. Give that dice a roll. Let's see what it lands on.
It's a 9.
9. Okay. All right. So what is the weirdest character concept that you've ever played or seen, I guess, but I'd rather go with played to get your...
I don't know. I don't know if it would be a weird concept, but like probably like the weirdest combination I've done.
What's that?
Was a barbarian warlock. Even though
Barb lock?
Yeah, because I failed to realize when I multi-classed in the Warlock during my one campaign that barbarians can't use spells and such when they're raging, and that's like what they're built to be doing 24/7.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that kind of sucked, but it was awesome being able to shoot people with Eldritch Blast at range and then running in and smacking them with my axe. So
yeah, Eldritch Blast is super. I love Eldritch Blast. That's definitely a staple for me. In obviously any Warlock build that I'll ever do, Eldritch Blast is just.
I think that's like you have to have that.
Yeah, that's what it is. The weirdest. Oh wow. That I've played. I played a Kenku wizard. So Kenku, if you're unfamiliar, it's a little like bird creature.
They're like the ones that like mock.
Yep, the mimic birds. Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, they were cursed because they did something or another. I'm trying to remember the lore about them. They did something or other, and they were cursed. Their voices away. Like they weren't allowed to have their voices. The only thing they were allowed to do was repeat things that they've heard, and they were able to mimic. So they started doing that. And it was a Kenku wizard. So what I ran into was I was like, how am I going to play this? Because a lot of my spells, they have verbal components. So I was like, okay, so I can't have these spells until I hear someone cast the spell. So whatever would be on my list, and like if the DM did it, like if they didn't have someone tell me fireball, I wouldn't be able to do fireball. So I had to like rely on the DMs, like the enemies that we came across.
Oh yeah.
To like figure out how, or I had to find someone to be like, hey, can you like cast this real quick for me so I can like learn? So that was interesting, and I think that was actually in a Curse of Strahd playthrough. I played it for a little bit. I think the game got dissolved pretty quick. But yeah, that was like the weirdest. I played a bunch of joke characters before. I mean, the most recent really wasn't a joke character. It was a plasmoid wizard that I played in your one shot, and like so when NamelessOrange came down here to hang out and come visit, he ran a one shot. And this was your second time DMing?
Yeah.
The Dungeon Master?
Yeah, technically.
And he did absolutely phenomenal. It was a lot of fun. But the other players were my wife and his sister. And they've played before, right? Your sister has played a handful of times.
Yeah,
before
I think
with
so.
friends, like a few years ago, something like that. And I ran my wife through a game like once, and she was like, "It's really not for me." So when NamelessOrange came down, we were like, "Hey, look, he has this one shot, and he's gonna run it, and we're all gonna sit down and we're gonna play it, and it's gonna be like super fun." So we started playing it, and like it was a lot of fun. So I tried to act my character because I knew they would probably be off in their own like minds going back and forth. That's what they did. They just
were
table talk, a lot of table talk, which is I mean, they're not really D&D players, so they're just there to have fun, and we're all there to have fun. But I played my character like kind of jokey to give them ideas. I try to describe a lot of things to try to get them thinking like about how their characters would do certain things. And the plasmoid wizard, he was like, right? And he was all wobbly and jiggly and doing weird things. That was a lot of fun to play there.
It was.
A lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. All right, so let me roll some dice here. All right, what do we got? 11. All right, there you go. I'll read that.
Let's see, number 11. Sell me this random magic item, like you're a shopkeep. Let me see here. What magic item?
Random magic item. Bring invisibility.
Sure.
Sell it. Sell it to me.
Oh,
I'm selling to you.
Wait,
I'm selling to you. Yeah, because I rolled first. Okay. Let me see.
I was
Okay.
like, wait, who's selling it to who?
All right, let me get in character. All right, so I'm selling you this ring of invisibility. Oh man, give me a second to think here. Hey, do you want to buy this ring of invisibility? It's really cool. Hey, my friend, come on in, walk on in. We got a great discount for you. We have this box of rings that just showed up out of nowhere, and fold it open and show it to you. Say, if you look at each one, each one does a slightly different thing. This one has a little shield on it, and look, and you hear a metallic noise as I knock on it. It's super strong. It'll protect you from anything. This ring here, you can see that little brain there. Listen, can you hear it? No, you can't, because it's a ring of mind shielding. It'll stop anyone from jumping into your mind. So with mind shielding, that would be amazing. But think about shielding yourself from being seen from anyone, right? You like things, don't you?
I do like things.
You like things. Well, what about getting things, shall we say, offhand easily?
I mean, like, for free.
For free. You said it, not me. This ring right here. Whoa, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. See, blink of an eye. Went away and came right back. Ring of invisibility. Throw this baby on. We got a discount today, and you will be able to see everything, but no one can see you. You can walk tiptoe up to that little chest over there, take what you want, and no one will be any the wiser.
Oh.
Good price, good price. 300 gold just for you, my friend. Now, I'd never do this for anyone else, but you, I think you're a good customer. I think 300 is a perfect price for you. What do you think?
I imagine this like one of those freaking vendors inside the mall where they're like constantly trying to stop you and sell you something.
That's what I was going. That's what I was going for. A nice kiosk ring salesman.
Well,
so did I sell it?
Yeah, I'd say for 300 gold, I'll definitely take that.
Nice. I'm pretty sure it's more expensive than 300 gold, to be honest. So I didn't really get a good deal. Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Well, and now that I have this ring of invisibility, I will slip it on and steal the rest of the rings you showed me.
Oh, God. I walked into that one. That was fun. That was fun. All right, so give me a roll there. Let's get a few more in here. We got a 12. Okay. Invent a tavern name and theme off the top of your head. So tavern name and theme.
Oh, God.
So we walk into a town or a city or a village, and we see something in front of us. Looks like a tavern.
Trying to think of what a good name would be. Nope. Not there. I can't think of a good name though.
Okay. You want a prompt?
Sure.
All right, I'll give you, how about a color? How about red?
Red.
Yeah. Get those juices flowing. Red is in the title. The red something. Y'all want to give us another item? Give us an item. See if you can get it here.
The red.
It's hard to do it on the spot, isn't it?
It is. There's people very good at this.
Yeah.
I am not one of them.
Give it a try.
Yeah, you give it a try. I'll see if I can think of something.
Okay. Yeah, give me a verb. A verb. Something with like an ing to it.
Let's see here. The staggering.
Okay. How about the Staggering Giant is the name of the tavern.
All right.
And the theme of the Staggering Giant. So you walk up and you see a big sign. that says Staggering Giant, and what you can see is on the sign is a large foot that's kind of walking. It's like in the process of like, you know, setting down, and underneath it is, or like beside it is like a falling tankard of ale, and it's like falling. The Staggering Giant. And this building is a 2-tiered building, but the second floor is double the height of a normal floor, but it's like leaning. Like the second floor kind of goes up like the 10 foot of the second floor, but then it shifts and moves up and shifts and moves up into like a point, and there's like a chimney that's kind of like cockeyed away from that portion, and there's like smoke billowing out of it. And as you walk inside, you see like 6 rows of like festival like tables, like long tables, maybe about 15 chairs on each side. The interior is a lot larger on the inside than it is on the outside, and there's people lined up sparsely from each of them. And inside is servers walking around, and all of them are carrying platters that are comically oversized. They're like 3-foot long platters, and they're all like regular. There's a couple humans you can see serving. There's like an orc that's bigger than everyone else, but their platter is even bigger. It's like a 5.5-foot platter, and they're balancing it on their hand. But as they're walking, all of them, it's weird. They're all like stumbling and walking, but the platters aren't moving at all. They're like super good servers. And on each of them, the tankards are slant shifted tankards. So they're not like regular up and down tankards. They're all like the tilted tankards that kind of come up to like a curve, and they're out there serving the patrons, and everyone's jovial. You can hear like tavern music playing in the background. There's like a bard standing up near the front. There's like a main bar area, and right beside the bar is a little platform, and there's a bard like strumming on a lute, and behind him is a tiny little reduced creature that has like a mask of like a giant. It's like a regular human, but it's tinier. It's not like a gnome or anything. It's just, you can kind of tell it was a larger creature that was reduced magically, and it has like a mask of like a giant, and it's like stomping with its hands. It's playing this little organ, and it's like moving all like staggery, right? It's kind of being weird. And as you go in, you see that, and you see stairs that lead up to where you would assume there would be more drinking area in the second floor, and rooms for rent. There's a little sign that says rooms for rent at the Staggering Giant, 2 gold a night. As soon as you walk in, and there's the tavern.
All right.
What do you think? Would you eat at the Staggering Giant?
I liked it.
Nice. That's all it is. Just keep talking until you come up with something.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll say it's called the Red Pony.
The Red Pony.
Yes, it's almost like a Chuck E. Cheese. It is a tavern in the front, but there's also basically a play area in the back where you just hear kids going freaking absolutely insane. All the servers are dressed very poorly in the mascot outfits of the Red Pony.
What are the mascot outfits?
It's basically just a very cartoonish pony that they dress up in, and
are their heads like at the neck of the pony, and there's like a big head, like comical,
yeah, pretty much
cartoony head just flopping as they're walking.
Yeah, except for there's one server there who is a very large orc, and it does not fit him very well. It's just kind of like stretched over him, and you can see it is torn. And like the mouse kind from the pony's kind of just drooping down over his face, and he does not look happy to be there.
Nice. What's in the play area in the back?
We'll see. There's actually there's pony rides. There's like magical little red ponies back there for the kids to ride on, and there's also like the ball pit and a giant red pony head with a slide coming out of its mouth.
That's nice. It's a family tavern.
Yeah.
Family owned. Family owned tavern.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And every hour, you'll see a group of people dressed as red ponies come up on stage, each with different instruments, looking absolutely miserable while these kids are screaming at them. And as they play the theme song of the Red Pony.
Oh, jeez. That's good. That's good. I like that. See, you just need that little bit of spark of inspiration to get you going, and you just keep going, and you start. So it's the same thing with like world building, right? Because we started with the name, and then like I started with the sign, right? And then the building, and then inside. Then you start from what you see when you first walk in, like immediately, and then you visualize further in and further in, and what's all there. So it's the same thing with world building. You create your. I mean, a lot of people do world building. They create the world and they start to pick out pieces of the world and create those and like connect them all together. But I like to have this like the Red Pony or the Staggering Giant, right? They're two competing taverns, or I wouldn't even say they're competing because one is geared toward a different type of audience, different type of patrons than the other one. So I don't think they would be competing, but they're in the same town. I don't think it would be a village. I think it would be like a town or a lower portion of a larger city that they would be in, and then you'd build around that. Well, because we have this tavern for families, there's got to be other family eateries, right?
Yep.
There's got to be some kind of school, right? And then also for the Staggering Giant, if they have that, either they're taking inspiration from giants that live nearby, or they're part of myth, or the owner is an actual giant. So then you think, well, if the owner's an actual giant, that means there may be other giants in this place. So there might be a different, like a temple to a giant god nearby, or even if it's a nearby giant, there may be an offshoot location that is like a friendly giant clan that lives nearby and assists with things that the city may need or do tasks. So you start to build out, well, if there's this, then there would be this. Well, if there's that, now that we have this kind of tavern, this kind of school, this kind of temple, there's got to be some kind of, I'm assuming there's got to be like a town master's hall, or a civic justice location, right? And you start to build out those. Well, if there's justices there, then would they have their own type of faction? What kind of justice would it be? Like a democracy, or would it be like a leadership position? Would there be like 5 or 6 individuals who sit on the council? Okay, do they each have their own kind of faction or their own kind of deity? And then that would build out more temples, or it would build out factions within the city. Are some of those guys corrupt? Are some of them straight-handed? Well, if there's corruption, then there's got to be some kind of corrupted faction. And where would that faction stay? Where would their headquarters be? Well, what kind of jobs would be needed for them to actually succeed? And you'd be like, well, there's got to be a bank there because you have all these other businesses. Well, if there's a bank and there's other businesses, then we're going to have the magic store, the jewelers, a fine clothes location. There may be like a civic auditorium. There may be like grand stage in the center of town that has where they have their festivals every month or something. You know what I mean? Then you start to just build the city up. If it's a city, you start to build the different levels of the impoverished, the middleman, the nobles, and stuff like that. Then you start to build that, and then you'd think of like, this is just my thought process. Then you think that, and then you would be like, okay, so we have this city that has this, and this is the things they have in the city. And say they are very good with there's a mine nearby. Maybe that's why the giants are there, because they're helping mine this huge thing. I mean, it would be dwarves, but giants can also assist with larger mines, whatever. Well, what kind of resources would that garner? And what other towns or cities would want it? Okay, then we got shipping routes to other locations, and then slightly build out those locations. What would be on the way? Would there be smaller villages, smaller towns that people would stop by, and they would find another version of like the Red Pony, or the Sleeping Giant from our Fandelver thing, or the Staggering Giant, or some random tavern. It would be a tavern / inn, or would there be an inn there? And would there be a holy person living in that town? So you're literally just like connecting all these locations and starting small and building outward until eventually you have like a world.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? I know it's a lot. That's how my mind kind of works. But other people go big to small because they think they're like, okay, I have this world. These are my 10 prime deities that I have. These are my 7 large locations by name. And then they start to work down from there and build down and down and down. I like building small and working my way up. That's why I love like one-shots. Because once you start doing your one-shots, you can give your one-shots your town, like if there's towns in the one-shots, right? Town names. And then you connect all your one-shots. They can be all in the same world, right? So then you would have whatever happens in the one-shot becomes permanent lore throughout your world. So you could, once you get to a handful of different one-shots at different locations, you'd be able to connect them by this lore or shipping routes or trade routes or what have you. You could start building your world utilizing your one-shots to build it for you.
Yeah.
And the history and the lore of random Joe Schmoes coming and destroying arcane towers and stealing tree houses and whatnot.
Yeah, I had to get creative with some stuff on the fly last night with that one shot. So yeah, those two kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
With some things.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good to have players who don't know much and just like trying to have fun. I know they were trying to have fun, but I don't know if they were doing it like trying to screw with you or just like, let's see how he deals with this type, you know what I mean? Not trying to completely derail, but like, I want to do this. Let's do it. You know what I mean? But it turned out really well. And they did have some off the cuff stuff that they did.
Yeah, especially with the hair salon with the free drinks.
Yep.
Is I decided, I'm like, okay, it was basically gonna be whatever you guys say that is gonna be what happens. So that's why I was like, okay, what do you guys want to do? Because whatever you guys say, that's how this is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. It happened.
Yeah,
it's good. So that's another thing too. Like some DMs, when you're running, and I've fallen into the trap before. You're like, okay, this is my story. A, B, C, D. We're going from point A to point D, right? And like, we forget that it's a collaborative storytelling game, right? So like, it's easy to be like, nope, there's no hair salon, but there is this. You know what I mean? But it's really good to be able to be like, yeah, there absolutely is, and that's where that improv on the fly comes into hand, right? And then also that helps you as a DM be able to improve your improv skills and have something for later that you could, because I'm sure if you do, like, you start a campaign or something like that, sure, like a hair salon is going to be one of the locations you're like, yeah, there's a hair salon too, right? But then it allows the players to be like, oh, that was actually there and I wanted that there, and it was there and I got to go there. So it's a twofold. It allows the players to be invested in something that they're helping build, and it lets the DM be a part of that building process together and to improve your improv skills. So that was really good how you did that last night.
See, I don't know, I like it more having like, say, like people just having like a rough outline of what's going to be there or what should be happening.
Yep.
And then the players just kind of filling everything else in and helping you build the world out from it.
Yeah.
Even if it all just goes completely sideways.
And it usually does.
Yeah, because with Guz and the Wolves, that was supposed to be like a guaranteed fight, but then you guys were invisible.
Yep.
I'm like, oh crap. So I was trying to do my best to see if I could get them to notice you, figure out a way to get them to notice you. But then, she started her stuff with Guz and cut them off.
Yep.
Because if you guys wouldn't have fought him there if you would have been able to stay hidden, or she wouldn't have upset him.
Yeah.
When you guys were up at the treehouse, he
Yeah.
would have eventually made his way back up to report to Robin that he didn't find the sheep and would have discovered you guys there and then started it.
Yep. So that would have been a tougher fight at the end if we would have been able to get through him at the beginning without fighting.
Yeah. Then, and you guys just circumvented the fight with the pig and the bear, too.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, I'm actually the leader. I don't know what they're doing. And she wasn't even, she was, she didn't look like him. Did she? I'm trying to remember.
No, didn't you use something on her? Because I know you used like minor illusion
To make the honey pot.
Yeah, and then
Because I didn't know what this dude looked like.
Yeah, or it was like she was the leader but disguised. I forget what she said.
Yeah, I think she said that she's in disguise or something. That she or she got polymorphed into it. Whatever.
Oh yeah. She accidentally used the polymorph wand to,
on herself.
Yeah.
So that's always like, it's hard. Like, the hardest thing as a DM, well, for me, one of the things is everything is hard. names are tough. Names are tough. Coming up with names off the cuff, because I always like to not have like, oh, that's Bob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to have like interesting names, but the names really don't matter. Honestly, the names really don't matter. They kind of it's what you do with the names that matter. Like, if this person is, oh, I see this street urchin, what's their name? And you ask their name and their name is Bob. Well, okay, their name is Bob, but what are they doing? Like, do they, now that you're talking to this person, do they actually like have a quest for you? So that's what I like to do whenever any of my players like randomly, like, when I explain like, what do I see or who do I see, and I explain a handful of different people, and then y'all like latch on to one, that one now turns into a possible quest giver. You know what I mean? So it's by y'all choosing who it is, and most of the time I don't got names, or sometimes I don't even have quests built for it, or like I'll roll to see if they pickpocket you or like stuff like, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But it's tough. It can be tough. I'm still learning, and I've been DMing for a few years now. Stuff.
Yeah, because like Guz was the only one that had his actual name. Like the wizard and his brother. I'm like, I'm not gonna remember their freaking names.
Yep.
Everybody's just gonna be a reference.
Yeah, that's a good way to go too, so you can remember names. It's good. And then sometimes you build out, like, I've built out NPCs, or like I've built out enemies, and I have their names, I have their quirks, I have their quotes, I have the way they speak, their tones, their inflections, and a little bit of backstory about them, so I can kind of get into character when I play them. I'm not super good at voices, but quotes I like using a lot of things that they say. And most of the time, I'll say like 80% of the time, y'all never learn their names or learn anything about them other than you just killed them. That's it. That's it. And it happens. And then maybe the name and the little bit of lore behind them will shift to someone new that you meet. That maybe that's their name now.
Yeah, it was weird, like, because running that for you guys, it was very different and chaotic.
Yeah.
But the first time I ran it for my nieces, they're like 9 and 10, and I made it very like railroady.
Yeah.
But like they still made for never playing D&D or anything. They still were making very smart decisions about what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like the sheep with the scroll, they just automatically knew to just take it and use it so they could talk with him.
Yep.
Yes, the one used the ranger and the other one used the fighter.
Yeah.
And the one who used the ranger knew to just stay back out of like reach and shoot them while the other one's freaking in there just smacking them.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that all goes with like how you explain things and like them having that inherent knowledge. It's just there's those little taglines or little things that the DM can say to let the player get to where they need to be without realizing that the DM had any input into
Yeah.
it. And that's the best part. When y'all one, I'm able to like guide you kind of where we need to go, but it seems like y'all chose to go, you know what I mean? So that's a really hard line to like toe between like railroady and like there's just this quest that you have to go to, and you have to meet this alderman in this town, and there's like this fork in the road, and you decide to go the opposite way of where the town is. But guess what? Now that town is in that new location. That's weird. You know what I mean? So it's just those little changes that it's like you made that choice, but I adjusted some things that we needed to do to fit your choice.
Yeah.
And then it's like sometimes it was like, okay, I'm gonna have to improv this entire city now because it doesn't fit here, it doesn't do that, which turned out to be like the most memorable moments. Like when I mean, it's memorable to like go off the story and the plans that you have, but those points that are just like in our last Turn of Fortune's Wheel game, when y'all decided to go to the second floor of the Walking Castle as Felmir and your hippity hop
My
rabbit,
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, and then the other half of the group decided we're gonna go up and like I'm gonna change my look to make me look like the first group that went up, and I'm gonna say the exact same stuff and try to get up there and do it. So it was chaos, and then you all end up fighting, but you were super close to not, and it just stuff like that just makes me happy because that wasn't planned on either side at all, but it worked out. It was fun. It made for a really good session.
It was
We're gonna remember it for a while.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of a lot of fun, give me another roll. Just slightly shift here.
What is that? Seven?
Yep. Okay. Cast a fake spell and describe what it does.
Cast a fake spell.
Or it can be a real spell. It can be whatever you want. Cast a spell, real or fake, and describe what it looks like when you cast it, or like what it does.
I'm gonna say
We're on the spot about these things. If y'all have any input, let us know. Give us some prompts to try. I'd love to hear.
I'm gonna say I don't. I will say it's called Spell of Jelly.
Spell of Jelly. Okay.
Yep.
Describe what it looks like when you cast it.
When you cast it, it would look more like I want to say like almost like light blue tendrils kind of coming out and hitting whatever you're attacking. And when they hit the target, it turns their bones and their legs into jelly.
Nice. Nice. I like that. That's really cool. Now I'm thinking about it as jelly bodies. Walking around and doing gosh knows what. Oh boy. Wonder if I can even come up with anything. Because I love describing my spells like very much. But they're like actual spells. How about that'd be kind of like Mage Hand. Okay, how about this? It's called Spell of Auto Read. Spell of Auto Read. So what it does,
I know.
when you cast it, you have to cast it on like a book or a poster or something that has words, and the book forms into like a face, and it starts reading it to you. It like hovers with you as you like walk, and it says chapter 1, and it just continues reading everything to you as you go, and it just kind of floats near you as you listen to the book.
All right.
read to you.
That's a lot cooler than I thought it would. Like what I was thinking it would be. I thought it'd be like you cast it on a book, and you automatically have all the information inside that book.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Oh, how would that look? It'd be like, I wonder if it'd be like the Page Master.
It just like a
Or like-
pair of realistic lips appear on the book, and it just starts talking.
Or it could be like the book opens on auto read and the words like fly off the page like glowing and shoot straight at your forehead, and the page is just and just a line of words just hitting you in the
Oh
forehead.
yeah.
Like glowing words. It'd be kind of cool if like it were like that, but like the spell was slightly off. So when the words came out, they'd be like ding 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 ding, and it'd do like a little bit of damage. Like to as you hit it, the words would like go and hit your forehead and like bounce off and just go flying everywhere.
You have to roll an intelligence check to see if you can actually retain all
Yeah.
the information.
Yep. Yeah, so if you succeed, you retain. If you fail, the words bounce not harmlessly off your forehead and just kind of float off into the ether. I think that'd be kind of all right, let's see. All right, so we had, if I get a different number, 13. I don't think we had 13 yet. All right, let's do this. Is the last one here.
You're kind of rolling around the same numbers.
I know. Okay, that's pretty good.
Let's see here. A god gives you one power. What do you ask for?
Oh man, a god gives me one power. What would I ask for the power of? I think I'm gonna go. I don't know if it's kind of dark, but I'm kind of leaning towards like the Baldur's Gate 3 side of things to like detect thoughts. I kind of like the idea of like detect thoughts, being able to read people's minds or read into their thought processes. Like if I were to ask them a question and kind of read into what they're thinking towards the answer or like behind it, I think I would go with that. Not super cool, but it's like I'll always have the right answer when someone asks a question, or like I'll know the right question to ask to get what I want or what I need, like in game. You know what I mean? I think that would be like detect thoughts. Probably be it. What about you?
One. You know what? I would ask for probably the most broken thing in like anywhere would be I'd ask for like super luck.
Super luck?
Yeah.
How would that work?
Basically give me the ability to change any outcome to be the best outcome it could possibly be.
So would it be the best outcome for you, or the best outcome that any for like in general? And who decides if that outcome is good or bad?
I would say it would be the best outcome for me.
Okay. Would it be the best outcome for you at the minute that you decide is the best outcome? Or is it decided that the best outcome is leading to something 5 years down the road that would eventually be good for you?
I'd say in that moment.
In that moment? Okay. I'm running down the genie rabbit hole. Like, no, the best outcome that you choose. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool. If it's not done right, though. Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
I still say luck is like one of the most broken things you can have. Yeah. Well, like in games, but
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. If y'all had one superpower, or not even superpower, if a god divined you with a power, what would it be? Let us know. All right, so that is the last one out of that segment. Nope. Hang on. That was roll for it. We rolled. Now I'm looking through my notes. All right, let's jump a little bit. Hot takes, or like nerd opinions. No apologies. what's an opinion towards anything? Well, like toward video game, movie, book, D&D, anything that you have that you feel strongly about.
Hmm. Well, I would say one opinion I have is that Fortnite is destroying the gaming industry.
Why? Tell me.
Well, everything wants to be like Fortnite now. Take Call of Duty. I don't know if you've seen like the characters they've added
I
lately.
haven't.
They've added Beavis and Butthead.
That would be fun.
And they've also added Stan and Roger from American Dad
In Call of Duty?
in Call of Duty.
Okay.
And it's not, but they're drawn in like 3D cartoon models,
Oh.
like how they would look almost in the show.
Yeah.
It's
So like with
it's bad.
realism to them?
No,
Oh.
no, not at all.
Okay.
These are just like cartoon characters just plopped into the world of Call of Duty. Like they're trying to get like
More audience.
yeah, every like thing imaginable, like have a skin in that game like Fortnite does. It's like nobody plays Call of Duty for like
They're
that.
trying to have people play Call of Duty for that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that either. I like my Call of Duty. Granted I haven't played Call of Duty in quite some time. The last one that like I played, I don't even remember which number it was, but it was when they started introducing like the grappling hooks and the
Advanced Warfare.
was it Advanced Warfare?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they started, we played that, but that started to get a little too much. It's like the same thing that they did with Halo, and they started adding all the extra abilities like armor lock and the other ones. Like, was it Guardians or was it like 5 when they started?
Halo Reach had like the armor lock, and like you had to have that one equipped so you could sprint.
Yeah, was that
Stuff like-
Reach?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so when they started getting past that, started like doing the extra stuff, I just like I'm not great at video games. I say this a lot. But like if you keep giving me more and more stuff that I can do, it's cool, but it just gives other people a better option to kill me. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot more tactical to use things like that. And when they start adding in all this extra stuff, that it starts to, I don't know. It's still kind of fun, but it's just more stuff to learn. And like, I liked just being able to like run through like Newtown and like shoot people. Worry about like a specific loadout that I need. Well, I always did specific loadouts, but you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I know.
Start adding a bunch of extra stuff.
Well, it's like with I don't know, because I always like the grappling hook and like the double jump they gave you in Advanced Warfare and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I liked it just as its own standalone thing, because there's always going to be like another Call of Duty, or you had the previous one if you just wanted to like run
Yeah.
around and run and gun to play.
Yeah.
Like as long as it's more of like a standalone thing and it's not like the norm going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So Call of Duty, do you prefer online multiplayer, or do you prefer single player zombies?
That's a tough one. As I played a shit ton of both. Like
We
what?
got it.
Like it depends on which game we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What about like
'Cause zombies is I can't with zombies anymore.
has it gotten more like a lot more items and like abilities and stuff like that too with like zombies?
Yeah, that too, and it's I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, but it's not like it used to be so much more fun when it was just like simple.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I like the simple games. The more they add into it to update it and bring it to like the current time, just updating for the sake of updating and bringing something fresh. Some things that are fresh aren't really like wanted,
Yeah.
but other ones are good. It's always nice to have companies freshen up their games and think of new outside the box ways to bring their games to the audience. But like some things are like no, I don't really want it.
Yeah, like Black Ops 4 was the last time I had fun playing zombies.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they're still trying to run with the same storyline of the characters that they've already killed off, but now some of them I don't know, really know what's going on with the zombie storyline anymore. It's like all over the place.
What is what's your favorite story-based video game of all time? That's a loaded question.
Ooh.
Or not story-based video game. What is your favorite like story of any video game?
That's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
So they played a lot of really good video games with some amazing stories.
What's your top handful?
I would say Halo Reach is definitely up there. That has an amazing campaign.
Yeah.
Even some of the Call of Duties have really good campaigns.
I think the last one I played with Call of Duty might have been Ghost. For actual like gameplay.
Ghost had a fun campaign too.
I think The Quarry is probably one of my top ones, storyline wise.
Quarry's got a good story as well.
Yeah.
What was it? Shadow of the Colossus. That has a good.
Is that the? So I'm trying to remember. Is that the name of the game, or is that like? I don't even want to say it, like God of War, Shadow of the Colossus. Is it like
it's just the name of the game.
It's just the name of its standalone game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that has a good story. I mean, there's not. You kind of got to look real deep into it to like see the story, but at least what you get is really good.
Yeah, I like. Well, obviously, The Wolf Among Us has a great story, and the way they tell it is awesome because it's a super awesome take on the grim, like the fairy tales and stuff. I love The Wolf Among Us. It's an amazing story.
Firewatch has a good story as well.
I have that in my wish list. Is that? I think that might be on Xbox Game Pass. Actually, might be. I don't know, or it was on sale on Steam. One of them.
Yeah, so that is all that game is basically just a story being told. Yeah. I mean, you do get a bit of free roam to discover places you don't go to in the story, but that was a really good game.
Hellblade has a really good story. Senua.
I still gotta play that.
Yeah, the first one is a really good story. The second one I'm working through, that's good so far. But I think so Hogwarts Legacy has a really good story to it.
Yeah, I still only played a couple hours of that.
Yeah, that's really good. But I think my all-time favorite story right now, it changes. It'll change eventually. But Baldur's Gate 3 has an amazing story. You can do so much with it, and it's insane. I love it.
I can't wait to see the rest of it.
It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get you through Act 2, and then we get into actual, like, Act 3, and, like, endgame stuff. I cannot wait for you to see that stuff. I'm super excited. What is the worst video game story, mechanics, something that you've ever played?
Ooh.
It can be for any console ever.
I don't even know like what would be the worst story. I played so many horrible games.
Yeah. What are a couple horrible games? And if anyone who made those games is listening, we're sorry, but we do not apologize for these opinions.
I played a little bit of what was that game called? We were talking about it the one day. You play as like a band almost, or you're pretending to be a band and you're traveling across the country. And you have like these weird powers where like your words give you power. I can't remember the name of the game.
I don't remember that game either.
Because you said about playing it, and I said no, it's really bad. I know it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. Let me look it up. Game where you're a traveling band and words have power.
They'll probably get it to come up.
I don't know. It's not. Well, there's Dustborn.
Yeah, that's it.
Dustborn?
Yeah, that game's dog shit.
Words have power in Dustborn, so use them wisely. Dustborn is about many things. It's about an undercover punk band's cross-country smuggling operation in a near-future divided states of America. It's about the power of words and the danger and misinformation. It sounds neat,
but it's not.
Story's not great.
Because I know the game's trying to be serious. Is the worst part.
Sir Wally, look at them cuties. Hey, thank you so much. How's it going? We're just chit-chatting about the worst and best games, videos, movies, shows, D&D stuff. It's a smorgasbord of two nerds chatting. Thank you, Sir Wally. I'm blushing. I don't even know what to say. Oh, stop. But Dustborn, not great. Okay.
It's like a very woke game.
Very woke game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It like and none of the dialogue. Like the dialogue is horrible. The gameplay is horrible.
Really.
It's no, that was I played like an hour of that, and I couldn't do any more.
Couldn't do it anymore. I think if I were to, oh gosh, a game that did not have a great story for me, I think I'll have to like go back, because most of the games that I played, I'm not like super, I'm not super particular about my games. I'm kind of in the mindset of like, I'm happy that I got to play it. And like, I'll talk to you about certain games. I'll be like, yeah, this is pretty neat. And you're like, oh, I heard that was awful. Or something like that. I'm like, oh, I thought it was kind of neat. So that's my kind of like thought, you know what I mean? But going back, I think like the Power Rangers Game Boy game.
But the movie, the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was not, if I remember correctly, it was not great. It wasn't great. The story, like it went round and round.
I remember it being super difficult for no reason at all.
Yeah, super difficult. I don't know. Other games, I know there's shows and movies and stuff where like I'm super into it and then I watch it and like the ending is like that's it. And that's what happens. I can't think of any off the top of my head, unfortunately. I'm hoping Until Dawn, the show, stands up to the game.
I can't say anything because from like what I've seen of the trailers, it doesn't look like it. But
Really?
I don't know.
No. There were a few like indie movies that I watched that looked cool and they did okay, but then the ending was just like, why did I watch this?
Yeah.
But speaking of why did I watch this, I'm glad that I did. Death of a Unicorn. Have you seen it?
No,
It's got Paul Rudd in it and it's got Jenna Ortega.
I haven't seen that.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my gosh, I think it's actually up for sure if it's up for no, it's streamed for free now. I'm trying to remember if it was on Netflix or Amazon or something. Anyway, so the premise is this dad and his daughter, Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, go on a business trip for him into the mountains of, I think, Scotland. And while they're driving, they start like arguing, I think, about something, and then they hit a creature, and they're like, "Oh crap!" And they look, and they're like, "That's not a unicorn." They're like, "It's just a big horse, like we have for it, but it's clearly a unicorn. It's got a horn and everything." And then they stuff it into the back of their car, and they're like, "We got to get rid of it." And they're like, "We just killed a unicorn," or just like, right? And then things happen, and like the unicorn's family comes and wants revenge for the ones that killed their child, like unicorn, and it's hilarious. Like there's a definite line between like, these are the villains type thing, right? These are the bad guys, and it's hilarious. Death of a Unicorn is so good. It is like, it's like stupid good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with like video games and
Yeah.
movies. It's the movie can be like the movie or game can be really bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, is it so bad you like laughing at it? Or is it just so bad you don't want to have anything to do with it?
Keep playing?
Yeah, because like I love like crappy like B movies.
Yeah.
That are just, you can just laugh at the entire
Yeah.
time because they're so dumb.
Yeah.
But like with Dustborn, it's not even, you can't even laugh at it. It's just so bad. You don't even have a like, it's not like, wow, this is so horrible, it's funny. It's just so horrible, it's sad.
Yeah. Oh man. There was as Dustborn remind me of As Dusk Falls.
As Dusk Falls. That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, so it's a choose your own story game, which is cool. However, the way that it's put together, there's no moving, there's animation, but there's no like character animation. It's literally just screenshot of them here, and then fade to screenshot of them here, and then fade to, it's like that.
Yeah.
And it was okay, but it wasn't great. I didn't finish it. It's kind of like The Expanse. I gotta finish that, but yeah, that style. I was so excited because I read the story about it, and it basically it encompasses a couple generations of people, different people, during the same kind of storyline. They're all connected, but it goes from different generations, from like kid to like parents, grandparent, that type of thing. So it's generational, and it's all these different people connected to whatever's going on. I didn't go very far in it, but it looked really good. So I started playing it, and it was like them talking, and it was like a shot of like them like that foot up when they're walking, and there's another shot of them in a slightly different location standing, and then them shot with like their mouth open, walking and talking, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not even stop motion, but it's like snippet screens up and going.
Like,
so it's like you're turning the pages.
Yeah, like a picture book.
Yeah, essentially. Which I was kind of let down a little bit about it. The story seemed all right, but that kind of threw me for a bit. I don't know.
Oh.
Well, what else we got? Do you have any other crazy opinions about What's your preference of here we go. Third person RPGs versus first person use. What do you prefer? I guess it probably depends on the game, but like RPGs.
Yeah, I would probably say first person.
Yeah. Okay. So like Borderlands type first person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking different versions, like Borderlands first person versus Baldur's Gate 3 third person versus
Then you have
Disco
like,
Elysium top down view.
Did you play that yet?
I played a bit of it.
What'd you think?
So far it was good. It was just like what you said, it's like the tutorial.
It drags.
It drags.
Yeah,
it does.
But yeah, you got to get past that. you once you
Trying,
do,
okay.
like that's another game with an amazing story, and I can't say anything, but there's so much going on in that game, and there's so many different ways. There's just so many different endings based on different things you do throughout the game.
Yeah.
It's a really good game.
You know what else threw me for a loop? I was looking for something really good and hilarious. Little Misfortune. The story is so...
Okay, yes. I would add that on to another.
Which side are you on? The fence on that.
That has to be one of my favorite games.
One of your favorite games?
Yeah.
It is a really good game.
I absolutely...
It's the stupidest game, but like the dialogue and like the stuff playing as a little girl, the stuff that just goes over your head as a little girl, but like, oh my gosh, she just said that type stuff.
Yeah, and the story
refreshments, but they're like, it's a bag of like pills.
And like that whole game is just like an emotional roller coaster that just goes from 0 to 100 constantly.
Yeah. That is an insane game. I want to play it again because I know you 100%ed it.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to play it and I want to try to get the rest of the achievements for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be one of my top racing games. I absolutely love that game.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Other strong opinions. I don't have a lot of opinions about a lot of things.
Well,
I have opinions, but I don't know.
Another strong opinion I have is a lot of people don't believe it, but Corey Feldman is actually a horrible, miserable person.
I don't have a lot. I don't have very many opinions about Corey Feldman, to be honest.
I will say he is absolutely the worst person.
Why is this?
But I mean, like, everything out of his mouth is a lie. Everything that he's gone throughout his life, like all the lies of him, like he's like built his career up trying to say he, all that stuff with Corey Haim about how he died. He's like, oh yeah, there was actually like all this stuff going behind the scenes that you guys didn't know about, and Corey wanted me to tell his story, but I don't want to get in trouble with Hollywood, so you guys need to give me all this money so I can release this movie and let you guys know the real story of what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got all this money, and then he never released the movie.
Yeah.
The only way you can ever see that movie is on a YouTube channel called Jim and Them.
Okay.
And that is the only way you can ever see that movie anymore. And it's just him sitting there with his hair slicked back in this little clown outfit, trying to fake cry the entire time.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds awful. That sounds terrible.
And all the stuff that happened with Corey's Angels and like all the girls that came forward.
Yeah.
Just how
terrible he was.
Yeah. Like all the stuff he complains about that goes on in Hollywood is stuff he does.
Oh, really?
Did you ever watch the White Swap episode with him?
Mm-mm.
That was bad.
Really?
That was really bad.
I've seen that show a few times, but I haven't seen that.
It was like a celebrity wife swap, and the girl I forget the guy, but him and Core was supposedly good friends with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like trying to. It was when he had his angels at the time, and he was trying to make her like walk around in like bikinis and stuff
Gimpy
all the
stuff
time.
and, yeah.
Yeah, and they can, and his angels could only ever eat fruit. That was another thing too. And a lot of them got really sick because of it. Because they're not having anything else in their diet. Yeah, and then it was bad. I'll just say it was just really bad.
Oh,
there was a lot of stuff that went on there. I can't.
A horrible person.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, but not a lot of people.
Yeah,
They think he's like this great person that was like that exposed Hollywood, but he never did.
Everybody says they expose Hollywood, but it's just them trying to either make a buck or they try to expose Hollywood, and then Hollywood, I don't know, there's some big guns that fight back and say they're lying when they're really not. So it's like the two sides of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not in Hollywood, and I don't know the truth. But if y'all are in Hollywood and you know the truth, let us know. And we'll post it everywhere.
He was also selling, like, I remember he was selling his Funko Pops.
Yeah.
With a signature for a ridiculous price. I think it was like $130 to get his signature.
Yeah.
And he has this little old lady that's like his, basically his HR, like, salesperson.
Yeah.
And she never knows what's going on. And, like, Corey will never get the stuff done he needs to.
Yeah.
So she's constantly getting like all these phone calls and hate mail. Then we're just like, oh, you need to leave her alone. She's just doing her job. But like he won't answer his phone or like deal with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any of these issues. I think it's not Heather May Dawn, but that's the name people have given her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not her actual name though.
Yeah. Jeez. So we got terrible Hollywood actors who are actually terrible, but along the same lines, well, not really along the same lines. What was your favorite like show when you were younger? Like if you could think to your not specifically any age, just like when you think about your childhood ish, what show would you, or what shows would you count in your top few?
Well, I would say, it's like everything back in the day, like Power Rangers, Big Bad Beetleborgs,
Yeah.
Digimon,
Yeah.
Pokemon, all that stuff.
Okay.
Like all I used to watch back in the day.
Yeah, so I watched Digimon. I think I watched the first season of Digimon, then I didn't watch anymore. Pokemon, I was on and off about. I collected cards. I never really played it when I was a kid, but I collected the cards. Big Bag Beetleborgs, I knew about. I didn't really watch it. What was the other one? Or was it another one you said?
What the hell was Pokemon, Digimon?
Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Yeah, so are you talking like original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or like do you have a one that you enjoyed more?
I don't know, because like I would have to say In Space was a really good season to like cap off, and that capped off like the Zordon era of Power Rangers. But like those first couple seasons were really good.
Yeah.
That and like Gundam, I used to watch Gundam Wing and G Gundam all the time.
I never really watched Gundam. The first season of Power Rangers was probably my favorite. I watched the next couple. There was I can't remember what the second one, next few were, but I watched the first few. I'm trying to remember what they were. But the very first one, I remember when I was in first grade, Power Rangers was gotten huge, and I think my backpack. I think I had a Power Rangers backpack.
You had a Mighty Morphin, then Zeo, then Turbo.
I remember Turbo.
In Space, Lost Galaxy.
There was like Jurassic or like Dinosaur. No, there was a different one that was dinosaurs. Well, kind of Mighty Morphin was dinosaurs too, but like
let's see, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force. Then you had like Jungle Fury.
Jungle Fury, I think.
Yeah, Jungle. And then you had a Dino Thunder.
That might have been.
Yeah,
That might have been it.
Yeah, that was the one where Tommy Oliver came back.
Oh, really?
Black Ranger.
Have you seen the? Did you see the? They came out with Power Rangers recently in the past few years. That was a revival of the original cast minus the ones that passed away.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it though. I saw like a clip of the movie.
It was pretty good. It was good. It was good for nostalgia's sake. I think I was around the realm of cartoons ish when I was younger, but like Saved by the Bell was a pretty big one for me. Boy Meets World. Anything that was like TGIF, Family Matters, Boy Meets World. Step by Step was pretty good. Home Improvement was really good back in the day, but like younger shows, The Magic School Bus was like one of my favorites. Then Arthur.
Oh, the guy that did the
Reading Rainbow, LeVar Burton.
No, it was the guy from the Magic School Bus. The producer. Remember the producer guy on the Magic School Bus? Yeah, he just died.
Really?
Yeah, too. Like the same. What was it, like 2 weeks ago that everybody else just...
Oh, wow, that's... Yeah, but that was probably one of my favorites. I love the Magic School Bus. And then, I don't know, I could go on about like all the Disney shows that I used to watch pre like SpongeBob type stuff.
I watched the shit out of SpongeBob.
I watched a bit, but I was getting a little older. That's when I kind of turned to like Adult Swim and like South Park.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's when I kind of turned to that kind of stuff. But yeah. Well, I think it might be time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
You have any closing words about?
But this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's real nice to have you down here. We've been talking about getting in person and doing this for a little while. Hopefully we can continue it and do like themed ones. I know we talked about doing a podcast about it. Hey, you never know, this might be on Spotify soon. We'll throw this up as a podcast.
Yeah, we should continue trying to do this going forward.
Yeah, I'd like to. It was super cool having you down here. I appreciate you running that one shot for us that we talked about earlier. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But
I can't wait to do DM more stuff.
Yeah,
eventually.
I'm super excited for that. Hopefully, you try to do some online stuff. Get the Chaos crew involved a little bit, and we'll get pushing with that. I can definitely help out where you need help with that. But before we go, Nameless Orange, where can we find you? What do we got?
Well, you can find me at YouTube on Nameless Orange Plays, or on Twitch and Kick at Nameless Orange.
What do you got coming up that's important?
What do I have coming up? Well, I still have episodes of RoboCop Rogue City and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven coming out weekly. I know when I get back home, I'm going to be streaming the first BioShock game.
Nice. You're going to work your way back through all of them? Or just going to do the first one?
Yeah, I think at least the first one for now. Yeah. I had a request to do the first one, so I'm at least going to do that.
Nice.
See where we go from there. Because it's starting to get close to the spooky season, so I got to start planning for another great year of the horror games graveyard.
Yeah, I'm excited to jump into spooky season too. We'll have to have just a single chat about spooky season.
Yeah,
we can go on forever about that, because that is my favorite time of the year. I know you enjoy it very much too. And then I'm not a very huge horror person, and I'm trying to get into it. And you're like my go-to. What horror game? This is a horror game. I'm thinking, how is it? Or like, you know what I mean? So, and pointing me in the right direction of good horror games that'll scare the crap out of me. I'm a weenie when it comes to horror games, as you know, and I get spooked very easily.
Oh, I can't wait. Silent Hill F. It's be coming out at the end of the year. I can't wait for that. The trailer looked freaking fantastic.
Yeah. Well, the next thing I think we got together is, well, you got your D&D game on Friday, so maybe after that we can try to
Do some
Baldur's
BG3.
Gate, some Baldur's Gate 3. We'll jump to that, and then Saturday we got our next session of Turn of Fortune's Wheel,
Yes, we do.
which is going to be starting off with a bang. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, it just like every session, it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, it does keep getting better and better. And y'all are super invested, and I'm super happy about that. Because if you weren't, it wouldn't be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in on Saturday to see let's see certain somebody's horrible mistake come back to bite them.
It'll happen. Tune in Saturday night, back here, same place, same time. I don't know, midnight, I guess, Eastern. But I'm Chaotic Video. You can find me on all your streaming platforms. Chaotic View, you can see right over, running across the top there, Chaotic Video, and Nameless Orange is right there. Yeah, I'm working my way through a few different games, The Wolf Among Us being the most recent, Baldur's Gate 3. So it's going to be fun. Then we're going to try to do some of these Two Nerds Chat, little fireside D&D / video games chat coming up. But I think that'll do it for us. I'm Chaotic Vito. This is Nameless Orange. Y'all are awesome. Let chaos reign. Have a wonderful night. And we will see you next time.
See you guys.
Goodbye. I don't have a stream deck.